Welcome. So today we're going to talk about the role of values, something that maybe you haven't thought a whole lot about because most of us don't really think about how those values play out in a variety of different situations. We may be aware that family is important to us or education is important to us, but we may not see how those influence other things. So think about this. Which would you prefer? The small Shih Tzu or this Golden Retriever? And think about why you would do so. Talk to your friends about that too and see how their values might differ from yours. Which would you prefer? Stir fry or this big juicy hamburger? And think about why. Football or yoga? Would you rather make a contribution to the American Cancer Society that influences the role or the research on cancer and education of people with cancer, education and treatment? Or would you prefer making a donation to the Heifer International, which supplies animals to people in the US and other countries to increase their independence and their village's success? Would you rather do a vacation on the beach or go to New York City? Modern art, in this case a Kandinsky, or a photograph, a black and white photograph. Which would you prefer and why? So I've assigned Rice's article, and Rice talks about the role of values in terms of our happiness. So it's very easy for us to go towards feel-good happiness, things that are short that are unrelated to our values and that make us feel good at the time, but don't long-term contribute to our happiness. So a milkshake, going to McDonald's to get a milkshake may make you feel good right then. Eating a package of M&Ms may make you feel good right then. Does that experience continue? And Rice would argue, not so much. He argues that what we need to do to feel happiness over our lifespan is engage in value-based happiness. So engage in behaviors that are related to our values. So our feeling of connectedness to the people we love, that make a difference in the world, that somehow are related to the things that we perceive as important to who we are. And while I love milkshakes, that's probably not one of the things that is related to making me feel, this is my goal, my purpose in life. Eboo Patel talks about the role of acting on his values in his This I Believe story. And I've posted a number of This I Believe stories as part of your course. There are things that we say are important, Friends are important, for example. Family's important. The things that we say, I would argue, are announced values. But then there are things that we do. Not just say, but do. Those are our committed values. And in general, when our values and our behavior are congruent, when they align, then we experience most growth, most happiness. Now, we don't always act on our values. And there are a number of different reasons why we don't. Sometimes it's embarrassment or social pressure. It may be a desire to look good. Maybe it's not really important to us. Maybe there's this conflict between two things. So, for example, when I'm driving down the highway, I want to get to where I want to go as rapidly as I can. But I also want to be honest. And it's hard to do both of those at the same time. That's a value conflict. Sometimes we're not aware of the role of the value in what we're doing at that point, or perhaps it's irrelevant in that situation, or we don't see how it's relevant in that situation. Maybe we don't have time. Maybe we don't have the skill or knowledge. You know, we want to make the world a better place. We want it to be a cleaner place, and yet we don't know how to make changes to the environment. Or maybe we don't believe that we have the efficacy to make those change. Maybe we don't believe that we can actually do it. Self-efficacy is a word that we're going to see, frequently throughout the course. So think about your own values and how you put them into play. And I'll see you, for our next video. Take care.